Xia Baolong meets with senior government officials and educators from Hong Kong's top universities on the second day of his inspection tour to the SAR. The government aims to regulate the requirements for a basic housing unit before the end of term of the current legislature. And Hong Kong universities jump up in global rankings, cementing the SAR status as an education hub. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Quentin Yang. Xia Baolong, director of the Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office, engaged with multiple political leaders and university chiefs at the central government offices as part of his 5-day inspection visit to the city. Jeremy Zhu reports.
Accompanied by Chief Executive John Lee and Liaison Office Director Zhou Ji, the senior Beijing official visited Kai Tak Sports Park in the afternoon. The sports park tour came after he met with higher education leaders earlier for nearly 3 hours, marking his first such engagement with Hong Kong's academic sector during his visits to the city. Attendees included heads and board members of all 8 publicly funded universities and University Grants Committee Chairman Tim Loy. Xia's itinerary began this morning when he departed the office of the Commissioner of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for Government Headquarters, accompanied by the Chief Executive. His first meetings were with political representatives, including Regina Yip, Chairwoman of the New People's Party, Gary Chan, Chairman of the Democratic Alliance for the Betterment and Progress of Hong Kong, and Lo Wai Kwok, Chairman of the Business and Professionals Alliance for Hong Kong. The 3-hour session also saw the presence of members of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference's National Committee. Xia's 5-day visit, which began yesterday, includes only one public event, a keynote speech at Saturday's forum commemorating the 5th anniversary of the Hong Kong National Security Law. Throughout his stay, he will also conduct research and assessments on the city's latest economic and social developments. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
The government has proposed a bill to the Legislative Council outlining the regulatory framework for basic housing units, marking a step forward in the government's effort to address Hong Kong's housing problems. The bill is set to be gazetted tomorrow and will go through its first reading at the Legislative Council on July 9th. Cheryl Yun reports.
Chief Executive John Lee first announced the introduction of basic housing units in the 2024 policy address, committing to phase out low-standard subdivided flats through legislation. Under the bill, basic housing units have to meet minimum standards, including at least 8 square meters of living space with a 2.3-meter floor-to-ceiling height, and one openable window facing an outdoor area with a glass surface of at least 0.1 square meter. Each flat must install artificial lighting and mechanical ventilation, providing at least 5 air changes per hour. A separate toilet with partition walls and a door for exclusive occupant use is also compulsory, while a kitchen is optional. Separate water meters and individual electricity meters for each unit are also made compulsory. Both the registration and certification system for the basic housing units will begin starting March 1st next year. Existing subdivided units have 12 months to register for a 5-year certification, supported by a professional verified report. As for the fees, to encourage prompt registration and verification by owners of subdivided units, an early bird discount with full or half-price exemptions will be offered in the first 3 years. After that, each initial certification costs $3,000, with renewal costs standing at $2,400. Owners have a 36-month grace period to renovate and certify units. In the final 6 months, registered but uncertified units cannot enter new tenancy agreements. Non-compliance, including failure to register or certify, or illegally renting units during the countdown period, may result in a fine of up to $300,000, 3 years imprisonment, and a daily fine of $20,000. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
With registration and certification for regulated subdivided flats set to begin next March, Housing Secretary Winnie Ho urged flat owners to register early, citing an early bird discount. Jeremy Zhu has more details.
From the 1st of March next year, existing subdivided flat owners will have 12 months to register their units, while applications will open to certify the flats meet minimum standards. Speaking to iCable News, Ho said registration fees originally set at around $750 will now be waived entirely. Certification fees will also be cheaper for early applicants, incentivizing prompt action. Ho added that landlords who previously failed to submit tenancy notices, which is about half of all owners, would be treated leniently during registration. Under the new fee structure, all subdivided units will enjoy full certification fee waivers in the first year. In year 2, only registered units remain exempt, while new units pay half the $3,000 fee. By year 3, only units registered in the first 6 months qualify for waivers, with others paying half. From year 4 onwards, all units must pay the full $3,000 certification fee. Ho clarified that fees apply per subdivided unit, not the entire property, allowing flexibility, so owners won't need to wait for all units in a building to be renovated before applying. She noted that even the full $3,000 fee works out to just $50 per month over the 5-year certification period. Renewals after 5 years will cost $2,400. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
The city has further strengthened its status as a prominent global education hub, with 5 of its universities ranked among the top 100 in the world, making it the region with the highest concentration of institutions in the top tier. Among them, the University of Hong Kong has climbed 6 spots to rank 11th globally, the city's best ever ranking. Scarlett Chen tells us more.
With the addition of the Hong Kong Metropolitan University and the Education University of Hong Kong, 9 universities in the city are included in this year's QS World University Rankings. 6 of the 7 institutions in last year's list improved their positions, with rankings for the University of Hong Kong, the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and the Polytechnic University climbed to a new high. Securing its position as the SAR's top university and the second top in Asia, HKU streamed to rank 11th. CUHK also achieved its best performance since 2010, claiming 32nd place. The University of Science and Technology ascended to 44th place. PolyU ranked 55th, while the City University slipped 1 place to 63rd. President of HKU, Shang Zhang, noted that the century-old university remains committed to excellence and innovation, aiming to develop the country into a leading nation in education. Dennis Low, CUHK's president, remarked that the recognition inspires the university to build on the momentum, strengthening the bonding with mainland and global institutions. Lawmaker William Wong, also the Associate Dean of the Faculty of Engineering at CUHK, mentioned that the policies imposed on international students in the United States benefit the local educational sector by diverting applicants to Hong Kong institutions. Globally, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and Imperial College London retained their positions as the world's top 2 universities, while Stanford University overtook the University of Oxford to claim 3rd place. Scarlett Chen, Cable News.
Lawmakers urged the government to align with national policy to boost consumption by rolling out stimulating measures, unlocking the purchasing potential of both residents and tourists.
During a Legislative Council motion debate, lawmaker Eunice Yong suggested that the government should actively promote high-quality local fisheries and agricultural products to hotels and restaurants, creating a Hong Kong local produce label. This would encourage diners and businesses to see the value in spending more. Another lawmaker, Chen Pui-leung, pointed out that shopping malls in the city suffer from a lack of diversity, with many offering similar retail mixes. He proposed that both mall operators and tourism planners should think outside the box by designing unique themes tailored to different customer groups, particularly capitalizing on popular intellectual properties. He also recommended hosting themed events and introducing pop-up stores to attract a wider range of shoppers.
The Security Bureau has warned Hong Kongers to avoid all travel to Iran and Israel after upgrading the travel warning to black, as hostilities between the two countries are likely to intensify. U.S. intervention could further complicate matters as Washington has approved plans to attack Iran. Sachin Katvi reports.
Iranian ballistic missiles breached Israel's Iron Dome defense system early this morning and hit a hospital in the central Israeli city of Beersheba, injuring 65 people. The main target of the strike was a military site next to the Soroka hospital and not the medical facility itself, Iranian state media reported. The building suffered extensive damage and patients were evacuated to makeshift hospitals in underground parking lots. A high-rise building and several other residential structures in the suburb of Ramat Gan near Tel Aviv were also damaged by Iranian missile strikes. At least 40 people were reportedly wounded in that attack. Overnight, Israel attacked a nuclear facility near the Iranian city of Arak. Located about 250 kilometers southwest of Tehran, the strike targeted a heavy water reactor, which Israel says was used to refine plutonium, the main component of an atomic weapon. Israel claimed to have damaged the structure which seals the reactor, but no radiation leaks have been reported. And though US President Donald Trump says he's undecided if America should get involved in the conflict, Washington has approved plans to attack Iran. US warships stationed in the Arabian Sea are on alert and ready to strike Iran if needed. The 60-day deadline Trump gave Tehran to stop its nuclear program has expired, and his demand for an unconditional surrender was blatantly rejected by Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Sachin Katvi, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended sharply down 472 points. Top active stocks of the day, Tencent was down $10 and PopMart was down $14. Meanwhile, Tracker Fund was down 48 cents and Xiaomi was down 75 cents. All three of Hong Kong's note-issuing banks kept their prime lending rates unchanged, following the U.S. Federal Reserve's decision to leave its key interest rates unchanged again, despite ongoing tariff turmoil and repeated criticism from President Donald Trump. Cheryl Yuan reports.
The U.S. Federal Reserve's decision marked its fourth consecutive meeting without changing its key lending rate, which remains targeted in a range of 4.25% to 4.5%, unchanged since December. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said the bank was braced for prices to rise more quickly in the months ahead as firms start to pass on the cost of the import taxes to their customers.
What we're waiting for to reduce rates is to understand what will happen with really the tariff inflation. And there's a lot of uncertainty about that. Everyone that I know is forecasting a meaningful increase in inflation in coming months from tariffs because someone has to pay for the tariffs. And it will be someone in that chain that I mentioned between the manufacturer, the exporter, the importer, the retailer, ultimately somebody putting it into a good of some kind or just the consumer buying it. Ultimately, the cost of the tariff has to be paid. And some of it will fall on the end consumer.
Locally, following the Fed's decision, HSBC and Bank of China Hong Kong kept their prime lending rates unchanged at 5.25%, while Standard Chartered held steady at 5.5%. Meanwhile, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority noted that the extent and pace of future U.S. interest rate cuts remain highly uncertain, and Hong Kong's interest rate environment may shift due to various factors. It urged the public to exercise caution when making property purchases, investments, or borrowing decisions. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
In one of the biggest sports franchise deals, the majority owners of U.S. basketball team, the Los Angeles Lakers, are selling their stake reportedly for $10 billion.
Details of the deal are not yet finalized, but the Boss family, which has owned the iconic team since 1979 and hold a 66% stake in the franchise, are offloading their share to U.S. conglomerate TWG Global Holdings. Mark Waters, chief executive of TWG Global, also has a controlling stake in the Los Angeles Dodgers, who won the World Series in Major League Baseball last year. The Boss family bought the team for $67.5 million in 1979, and since then the Lakers have played in 17 NBA Finals, winning 11 times. The Lakers deal overshadows the sale of NBA rivals, the Boston Celtics, in March this year, when they changed hands for $6.1 billion.
On to the weather now. Mainly cloudy with a few showers tomorrow. Sunny intervals with a maximum temperature of around 31 degrees. Temperatures will rise further over the weekend. That's our news tonight. I'm Quentin Yang. Thank you for watching. Good night.